All right, y'all. All right, y'all. We're back. We're back. As always, this is the whiteboard. I'm Samantha. We got Dora the Explorer. And you know what? PR decided she's gonna ditch us for Mexico.
Can't
So
be
no
mad about
PR.
it. I hope you're
She's
having
lit.
fun in Mexico dancing.
Yeah, for real. Bring us back some drinks from what's the guy's name? Pedro? That's what she said, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Junior? I don't know.
Junior or
They're
Pedro?
best friends now. She'll be able to tell us
Yeah.
when she gets back.
Right. She'll tell us next time. Let me hit this intro.
Starting a card for a parking problem.
First of all, we got to do our mental health check. All right, what's our mental health? I think I'm at a 9.7. Okay, my feet hurt because we were at yard sailing all day, but me and Brandon took the day off to just go yard sailing and grocery shopping and hang out. It was fun.
I'm at a solid 10 because I just had the best tacos. I'm in my happy place.
Shout out Taco Man.
Right.
Maybe our future
With
brother-in-law.
the cactus on it.
I don't know what your obsession with cactuses are, but
it's good for you. I encourage everybody to start and taking some cactus. It's really good for you. Hella health benefits.
You heard that? Eat the cactus, y'all.
Eat your cactus.
All right, y'all. Tonight we are here to talk about Alicia Hummel. This lady's been missing for 10 years as of June 1st, so we're just now missing out on her 10 or passing around her 10-year anniversary. We don't know who did this to this lady, but we gonna find out. We gonna find out, aren't we, Dora?
Yes, I just read today actually that for the 10-year anniversary, her family and friends went out and did 10 random acts of kindness to 10 strangers, and that was so cool to me.
Shout out to Bethany for keeping this woman's legacy alive. You heard me?
Mm-hmm.
This lady has been killing it for 10 years. Let me just post a little picture of her that we found on the interwebs. Look how cute she is.
Where?
Okay.
Oh, precious.
Yeah, rest in peace, baby. We gonna find out who killed you. I promise. We gonna
Foot
find out.
on the neck about it.
For real. And you already know. You already know.
We like to stir the pot. So 10 years, we got some stirring. We got some deep stirring to do, actually.
Yeah, for real. A lot of stirring. We got a lot of information tonight. I just want to show you guys. So, something that we like to do is be in the moment with these cases. Just take it in and just really try to mentally connect to it. So when our third party told me that he wanted us to bring this to our attention, I had to go. Okay, it's in Meckling, South Dakota. If y'all don't know, Dora, tell them what else is in Meckling, Dora.
Good old Culture Cove, and we're still looking for you too, Tyler.
Shout out to Tyler. We still looking for him.
But yes, Culture Cove is right there in Meckling because, Tyler showed us the way on that one.
Definitely did, because I don't even know what the heck.
So Meckling is gaining some traction lately, isn't it?
A
whole population of 50 people.
The whole 50 people in the saloon, right at the entrance of the city.
Right across the street.
Also, I just want to do a quick shout out. Rest in peace, Matthew. I know they found your body around some jacked up circumstances. We're going to keep your family and friends in prayers because I know that is a hard one to swallow. I find it funny, though, that the media was not talking about you missing until you were found, but that is a story for later.
That's a topic that's going to start reoccurring, too, because there's also a case in Sioux City where a little boy is missing, and he was on his second or third day missing before the public was notified that this little 10-year-old was missing.
Who's that sound like?
Mm.
We'll
Seems to
get
be
there.
a theme.
Seems to be. So anyways, while we were in, obviously Dora and Dora was gone, Danzy in Mexico, so obviously those two were not with me. However, I did drag my other friend out to good old Myron Grove in Meckling, South Dakota, so I could take in what was going on. Let me just show you how beautiful this place was. Okay? This is my panoramic picture. Like, no wonder she went there to be in peace and freaking fish by herself.
Mm-hmm.
Because, girl, take me there. You heard? Anyways, I thought it was so beautiful there. It's so peaceful and quiet. It is a little weird when you get there because you have to drive for 5 miles on a gravel road. And when you get to the park entrance, if you go right, you go into someone's private property. So don't do that because there's trespassing signs.
Respect them people's house.
Right. As you can see, their little boat on the far side of the picture, their little boat ramp over there. Then, if you go left, you go into this, I would say it's kind of like a parking lot. I would say after you load your boat, you'd probably go park your trailer and boat in car there. But you pull in and there's hole in the ground bathrooms. You know, those good old state bathrooms.
Girl, that's country living.
Country as heck. Okay. And
Not
then
a toilet.
Right. On the other side, there's a preservative, a game fish and park preservative. So I don't know. It says that you can't trap or anything. So correct me if I'm wrong, audience, but that would mean that you can't do anything there, right? You shouldn't even be on it.
It said trap.
It said you can't trap.
Trap
is you can't trap, hunt, or whatever else they said.
Yeah, I think that's when you set the cages out, though.
Right. Yeah, but that would mean that you can't really be on that land then, right?
I don't know.
Or you just can't be killing animals on it.
Is there any hunters that want to step up? I'm not a hunter.
Let us know. Let us know in the comments.
Please. Help the girls that don't know about hunting out.
All I know is it was so nice there. Anyway, so you pull in, and you have this boat ramp. As you can see on the other side, you can see where it's cut off right there, where you can load your boat, and then the little dock right there. But then, this is from the top. So, up here you pull in, and you have your little state board with all the information about the state.
Actually, when I was looking into this, I'm pretty sure she had took a picture right where you took that picture with the state, the board.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Mm-hmm. It was on her Snapchat, I believe.
Oh wow, that's really really crazy. So you can see the grass is really tall, and then all those trees back there. That's how it looks behind you. Our third party sent us a picture of him, in these trees, and literally you can't even see that anyone is parked outside of these trees. So it's very dense and thick and probably full of ticks and nasty bugs.
I read somewhere that once it's summertime and you go out there and you get past that divide, it legit becomes hidden because of the trees and how much.
Oh, yeah, because I'm sure they're growing and crap back there, and the tall weeds and stuff. Yeah, no, heck no, don't sign us up for that. Not going by myself. Anyways, so 6/1, Alicia told all of her friends she was gonna go fishing by herself in this beautiful place. Listen, you'll find out soon enough that Alicia loves social media. She loved social media. Okay, everything.
Specifically Snapchat. I feel you, girl.
Right. If any of y'all know Dora and you follow her on Snapchat, if you know, you know. Anyways, this is Myron Grove in Meckling, South Dakota. As we stated, Meckling is unincorporated land. If you don't know what that means, basically there's no one there to help you.
Meckling is like, and I think I spoke on this with Tyler's case too, is a fine line of almost lawlessness. Like, there's no mayor, there's no city council, there's no anything. If you're calling it, even if you look up the pros and cons of unincorporated land, like if you call 911, you're taking the risk because you're going to have to wait because they're going to divvy up which county is even going to come respond to you.
Right. As if driving on 5 to 10 miles of gravel isn't going to make you wait anyways.
Right.
I wish I would have took more pictures of like driving up into it because that was crazy.
Maybe I'll get on a flight and we can take a trip again.
Shoot, come on, girl, because after I pick you up, it's not that far from where you are. I ain't even lying. Anyways, so I think that our timeline is like pretty solid, because of all the things that we've read and listened to, and we've been studying this case a lot because obviously we were not there real time like we were with Tyler, so we just have to really just go off everything that we can find, and our third party has been very helpful. And I mean, we just gotta go with what we got. Okay, so apparently her family, it didn't specify, but correct me if I'm wrong, her family reported her missing at 5 p.m. And by 10 o'clock, they had already told them that she was passed away and whatever else. So that's really crazy because 5 hours from the time you tell somebody that they were missing is like unheard of, okay?
And what I read, and there are some conflictions within time zones, but she was discovered around 2:30 and 3.
Yeah, somewhere between 2:30 and 3 is what our third party said too.
And she was discovered what I found was that she was discovered by the state game fish and park, who just happened to be there. They weren't actually called; they were there picking up litter, and they discovered her. So if they found her at 2:33, and then she was reported missing at 5, and then they notified the family at 10, those are some big gaps in between for little small Meckling, and she was local. It was like she's been around that area. She's been around those other towns, like.
Yeah, because I think wasn't her husband's business registered in Jefferson, which is not far at all.
Yes.
So there you go. Okay, so on 6/9, the preliminary autopsy was released as blunt force trauma and an incise wound to the neck. Is that that's how you say that, right? Incise, is that what we decided?
Yeah.
I'm going with I'm going with incision because, like, yeah, I don't know. Some kind of wound
but
to
it
the
means
neck.
like a cut or, a slice / something along those lines. Because I was like, that's a different word to use.
Yeah, that's a very intriguing word to use on an autopsy.
Mm-hmm.
So then on 6/29, the Attorney General, which if you know anything about South Dakota's Attorney General, he's not great, came out and said her first cause of death was drowning, but her secondary was, again, the blunt force trauma with the neck wounds. No alcohol or drugs were detected.
Could you say that she drowned from the neck wound? I could understand that part. But
yeah, I guess
to leave out, so that's a big piece to leave out. That for the first one, she just drowned, right? But the second one, there was the neck. Wouldn't you have noticed the neck the first time?
Yeah, I mean, my guess, like, I obviously don't know the lady. I wish I did, because I feel like she'd be our friend, for real, for real.
The adventures. I was reading all about the spontaneous. Yes, girl, I would get on a plane and fly across America with you today at lunchtime.
Okay, literally, meet you in 3 hours. Let me pack.
Vibe.
So I don't know. I feel like if she was out fishing at a river, if anyone knows anything about this river, it is a freaking nightmare. Like, I don't know if you can see it just in the pictures. Like, do you see how like rough that current is? Like, I wouldn't be. No. Also, I'm not swimming in that river. That's disgusting.
I think if you're a local, you're from that, or you're from that area, you're familiar with that river, it has claimed a lot of lives. Like, it's obviously this one, there was other things that were put into
But there
her
actually
death,
has
but
been people.
there's been a lot of people who have lost their lives to that river.
That river is very dangerous. I don't know where I found this. I don't know if this came from third party or if I read this or what. But apparently, her hands were folded and she had a broken finger.
How were her hands folded if they found her in water? Like when you put your hands together, like interlock?
Like that's the only thing I could think of. Or were they like folding like she was praying?
But they found her in the water like that.
Yeah, I don't know where I found it. I can't remember, but I have it written down because
I'm gonna
obviously
look up. I'm gonna. I haven't looked. I haven't got a chance to look deep into. I read that it was like
there's probably going to be another episode,
dock, but I haven't read much about the positioning. So I can't.
I feel like there's going to be another episode on this because I feel like there's
I'm
way
just
more
starting
information.
my rabbit hole, guys. Y'all know how I am about my rabbit hole, so it'll be juicy.
Okay, so for the longest time, they said that they did not know where her phone was, which, if you remember, is weird because this lady was posting everything on Snapchat and Facebook and all the things, and she was like texting people while she was out there fishing. And just a little funny expert, I guess, she told someone that today, her quote was, "Today was a good day to get down because there was a car having sex in the park." I just find that so funny because, like, that would definitely be a text that Dora or Dancy would send.
I promise.
Like,
if you happen to be those people that were having that get down in the car on
call
that
us.
day, can you please?
Call us,
we'll
baby.
keep it private, but can you come forward?
Call us, please. And they say that they cannot find her phone and they did not know where her purse was. But I just want to back up a little bit because if I'm fishing, why the hell would I have my purse? That thing's gonna like go in my trunk or something. You know
Yeah,
what
I was gonna say most girls are gonna tell you that they'll take like their necessary things and then they'll hide it in their car somehow, some way.
Right. And if it was only right there and she was right there at the boat dock, like why would you need your purse? But
I don't think she actually had it on her because I don't think so either. I'm sure it was Meckling, South Dakota. I can't imagine really locking your car doors.
Yeah, people. While anybody in Meckling
to where you're fishing,
right next to where you're fishing. Literally. In 2016, some college kids found her purse on one of the sandbars. I'm assuming on Goat Island because if you look at that map of where that Myron Grove is, there's like a big old sandbar in the middle called Goat Island. Shout out Aries because we're goats. Okay. Dude, the purse had everything in it. It had her money, her wallet was intact, all of that stuff. And I'm sorry, but that river is way too strong to only have that purse go like a few hundred feet, really.
That purse was not on her and it was not in the water. There's no way.
There's no way.
Because the distance between the dock and the island in a year's time, there's no way.
Right. Ain't no way. You can't fool me.
I will call bullshit all day on that. There's no way that purse was on her or it was ever in the water. Literally. And it washed up onto some island up
in the middle of the river.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
Wouldn't it be at the bottom?
Wouldn't it be empty? What do you mean that the dollars were still intact and it's been floating in the river for a year?
Yeah. Yeah, no. I don't believe none of that for 1 second.
Bullshit.
I don't know, but at some point, I think in 2021, they came out and accidentally told everybody that they had her cell phone.
Oops.
And I'm just like, that's weird because you've been telling us for years that you haven't had it. So, yeah. I thought that was weird.
So, what year did you say?
She died in 2015. And I didn't write down the date, but I want to say in 2021, they accidentally told people that they had their cell phone. That's a very long time if you tell me. I mean, if you ask me. So in 2021, also, Detective Howe, he told Kellerland, which we're going to get into this about Kellerland in a little bit because
That's
told
the
Kellerland.
South Dakota news station?
That's the Sioux Falls news station, and they are not good. Okay. I can report the weather better than their weatherman. Let's be so for real. Anyways, he told Kellerland, we still have people that have not been ruled out. No evidence that this was anything other than a crime of opportunity. I'm sorry, but I've watched enough true crime and done enough research in my time here as Detective Samantha herself.
I can't.
There's no way someone cut her neck and it wasn't personal.
In Meckling, South Dakota.
In Meckling, South Dakota.
If I'm gonna commit a crime, I'm gonna be like where my chances are a little bit higher. The city, you know, population's a little bigger. The population is 50 people. That means the killer was number 51. Come on now.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure people were out of town because, like, it was the summer. So maybe he was even, like, number 30. Okay?
Unreal. I
don't know. Is Detective Howe, are you still a detective? Well, still, you can find my number somewhere, I'm sure. You got friends. Yeah, so in 2022, there was new developments in the past year, and there's great interest in work with considerable optimism. That was in 2022. It's we halfway done with 2025, friends. And we still ain't got shit.
The word choices, I'm just so mind blown by the word. The word choices.
Considerable optimism. That's a big word.
Okay. We're gonna harness, not harvest. We'll harness on that energy is what that sounds like. Okay.
Literally. Okay, so I just want to get our timeline down. 2023, I could not find a single article about it. 2024, could not find another article about it. Now, 2025, so 10 years was, 5 days ago? 5 days ago when we're recording this. So, that puts us at 10 years. And did you know...
A whole decade.
Okay. Did you know that South Dakota did not report not one damn thing about this lady being dead and no killer has been arrested for her 5-year or her 10-year? Not one single media outlet picked this story up, and that's crazy to me because the Sioux City Journal did, and no one in South Dakota, so it must have been 2 Iowa.
So other states are picking it up, but not the state that she was from or died in. Interesting.
Let me sip my tea real quick.
I don't have off the top of my head because we discussed it the other day, and I went back in my dream log. And the husband has a house moving company, right, or something.
Or I think he did. I don't think he does that anymore. But at the time of her death, he did.
I need to go back and look at the date because I thought it was interesting that he had like a home structure moving company, and I literally have a dream, and it was about a house being put on a truck and being moved. I'm like, oh, hold on, let me.
Yeah, and at first we had no idea what that meant. We were like, "What do you mean?"
They just stay in my notes until I'm like, oh wait, this clicks with this right now.
And don't get me started on the dreams with water and finding bodies in water, because I don't know, Dora might need a psychiatrist after this.
A grippy sack vacation, is that what you call it?
So yeah, I just want to talk about who Alicia is. So Alicia Hummel, she was forever 29, guys. She was married to Tony Hummel. In 2011, I think.
Yeah,
that's when
they got married in 2011, and they split in 2014.
We're gonna come back to that split because we got things to say about that. So Alicia was like a preschool teacher. Well, she was a preschool teacher, and she loved it. From what I understand, that was her like calling. Okay, and that takes a special person, because working with 24-year-olds makes me want to go jump in the river and go swimming, because that does not sound fun. She loved school.
What the family and friends have said, that she was such a good spirit, like to work with the children, to enjoy like it's a forever young, because you carry a childlike wonder. Like
Yes.
That's what I was getting from looking into her.
Yes, and like just so happy and bubbly all the time, and just living her life to the fullest. Okay, we all need a little Alicia Hummel in our life.
You can definitely tell she was like.
If you ever go look at her social media, like all of her pictures she's like smiling her behind off. So, you know. And from what I understand, I think this might have came straight out of Bethany's mouth, which, Bethany, shout out, because I'm sure you'll see this. Girl, you are an amazing friend, and we all need a Bethany in our life. Bethany said that she always made time for other people. Like, she would always make time for you. And I was like, that is a great friend. That is some true love and loyalty. And the other thing that I thought was cool about her is that she did roller derby. Okay? Like, come on.
To do roller derby, you gotta have like that little firecracker in you too, because there ain't no way. Isn't that like where they kind of like push and like they they low key be like
politely they low key be beating each other up on this little. Also, the other thing that really stuck out to me is that she had a very high social media presence. Like, for being 10 years ago, that was weird to me, because I don't feel like people were posting as much or as consistently 10 years ago, not like they are today. But she definitely was. Between like Facebook and Snapchat, all that good stuff, she definitely was. Mm-hmm. Which actually, if we think about it, that kind of helped her case in a way, because apparently there was a text sent to someone, or a Facebook message or something sent to someone at 1:45 about the car having sex in the park. And her body was allegedly found at 2 p.m. So that only leaves like a 15 minutes, really. Isn't that weird? Mm-hmm. Who's committing that heinous of a crime in 15 minutes and like not
to be able caught? To if it truly happened within 15 minutes, you're dealing with somebody that this isn't their first time. There's no way that's your first time and you managed to do that in 15 minutes. Even if it was like impulsive, given the surroundings, the area, and all of that, like it still would have had to take some type of calculation and strategy, because I think I read within the some of the messages to her friends that were documented that she was talking about there were other fishers around. So it's just like 15 minutes.
Wait, there were other fishers at Myron Grove, or like in boats?
in the research that I did today, there she
Mhm.
had messaged and said that there were other fishers around, and it was also within the news articles. And the sheriff was saying something about it was crazy that nobody had came forward and admitted to being there at that day.
Oh,
As she
wow.
passed, because that there were other people there, but yet nobody's coming forward. So either this is my mm, either somebody who is really good at committing crimes did it in 15 minutes, or somebody committed the crime and messaged from her phone.
Yeah, that could I don't put that past anybody. We've definitely seen shit like that happen before.
Yeah, but in her Snapchat messages to one of her friends, she said that there were other fishers around, which I can understand, being I'm not a nature girl. I can understand there being some distance in between people while you're fishing and whatnot.
Not enough to not notice someone's dying.
Right. That was my next thing. So if she died by the dock in the water, there wasn't a scream for help, there wasn't any splashing, there wasn't anything. Even obviously before she was killed, you would have screamed some type of something. It's just a natural reaction to
Oh,
scream
I would
for
have been
help,
like, "Who the
unless
fuck is
they
you?"
came up behind her and got her from her neck. So it was instantly, which takes me back to this can't be your first time.
Oh, absolutely. No, I don't. Whoever killed her definitely has killed before because the wound around the neck is like hella personal.
Hmm.
And if this literally happened within 15 minutes, that's talent. I don't know if I could. I mean, I've never killed
Either
anyone,
you
but I
did
don't
this
know if I.
before or you was practicing for your time to make this happen. There's just no way. Maybe I need to read about crimes of passion or whatever and how people like instantly react on that type of thing. But given the environment that it happened in, I can't see that. I don't. That's just
Right. I can't either because even if you came up behind her, like she would be able to hear that, I would think. It's not
hmm
like they had noise canceling headphones 10 years ago. And I doubt
hmm
she had headphones if she was trying to be in peace. I guess I don't know.
right.
I don't know. That was a long time ago. I don't remember what I was doing 10 years ago.
Given somebody that like preferred fishing and liked nature, I don't see her even having headphones while she fished. I think she would be enjoying the sounds of nature.
Yeah,
Personally.
exactly. That brings me into our next little segment. Um, allegedly, I can't say if this is true or not because who knows who we can trust at this point. There was a dark sedan with dark tint and loud exhaust leaving the area
Oh, this is my
around this
favorite part
time.
to talk about.
I know, right?
Because where did that tip of value come from if nobody that was there has came forward? Where did that tip come from?
Yeah, exactly. I would love to
If
know.
you
Like,
stated that nobody that was there fishing has came forward, how did you identify that there was that sedan in the area? If
the,
nobody there had came forward, I need the
the
math to
only
match.
thing, the only thing I could think of is like, did the game fish guy see this?
That's the only thing he spotted out of all the other people and vehicles that were there.
Right. There was no, like, you didn't see any of the other fishers' vehicles?
That
I
math
don't know.
isn't adding up for me.
Yeah, the math is not mathing at all, and we
But
all
also,
know.
I in my reading article, I don't even. I wish I would. I'll go back, but they were talking about initially they were getting reports of people in good old Clay, Meckling, wherever,
Oh,
were
in Clay
calling
County,
in
yeah.
and saying that they knew people that drove dark vehicles that would be, I don't even know where the word was.
That would match that description. Oh,
Um,
I think I saw something that said and would do something like that.
yeah, they know someone who drives a dark colored vehicle that the caller believed would be capable of committing crimes. Tips of value.
That is a great tip of value, friends. That makes me laugh every single time I read it because what? Why do you know people that are killers or could be killers?
That's not there. That's your judgment, and you're calling the police about your personal opinions and judgments as a tip of value. Yeah,
They're bored. They have
it's
nothing
a
else to
wild
do.
place. It's a wild place.
So I don't know if did you read anything about Nick Bertrand? So Nick had an ex-wife, and the ex-wife was friends with Alicia, and was like, Nick said that he had heard about Alicia before from his ex-wife. Like, she'd show Nick her weight loss because she was very happy about her weight loss journey. And be like, oh, my friend's doing so good, yada, yada, yada. And then when Nick's ex-wife, which I don't know her name, I tried to find it, but I think that he's probably trying to keep it very private. I don't know. He didn't say her name on the podcast that I was listening to either.
Shout out, Nick. If you want to jump on here so we get shit right, go for it.
Come on, Nick. Come on to the whiteboard. Anyways, so Nick's ex-wife found out that Alicia died and told Nick that she wanted to go pay her respects. So Nick found out where Alicia was, where Alicia passed away at, and drove his dark Volvo with the glass pack out to good old Myron Grove. It had to be within a few days of the murder, because he said that there was still police there. And of course, the good old Clay County Sheriff stopped him in his black Volvo with tints and a glass pack and took him down for questioning. And Nick happened to be fishing by himself that day, not at the river, at some lake in Sioux City, I think. But he didn't really have an alibi because he was by himself. Thank God the only alibi that he had was that he had stopped at, I think, like a bait shop or something, a gas station or a bait shop, and there was CCTV of it. So that's really the only, in Sioux City, yeah. So that's really the only thing that his alibi was. But so they questioned him and they cleared him. All good and gravy, right? Like, obviously he didn't kill that lady. He was minding his business. But then
what would be his reasoning if that was just his ex-wife's friend too?
Exactly. Like, what's the motive? I don't know what they were thinking. I guess they were grabbing straws. They were
trying to seal the deal quickly.
Oh yeah, they was trying to pin that shit on him immediately. Anyways, so that was all gravy. Whatever, that went away. Then they came back up to him
after they cleared him.
After they cleared him, they came back to good old Nick. And they were asking questions, and they were looking at all of his boots and all this stuff, and made him take a lie detector test this time. And I think at some point he gave his DNA to them, like, because he's like, no, like, I didn't do it. Like, obviously if he killed her, he's not going to give you his DNA. Also, like, you guys never said you found DNA.
Well, I can understand, as with it being freshly within days of not letting them know that they had DNA. I can understand that perspective, but
so Nick did all this. He got cleared again, but I heard that he told the guy that was hosting the podcast I was listening to that the reason why they came back is because his sister, who has schizophrenia, said that she had a dream, and in this dream, Alicia told her that her brother killed her. And I was like, oh, okay. First of all, that's a lot to unpack as we have our dreamer here with us. First of all, spirits really aren't coming to people like that unless you have those gifts. I could maybe see a trickster spirit because we've definitely seen those a lot in Tyler's case.
I can see that too. And with him offering up DNA, I can see there's something. Yeah. I don't know how much I believe that, especially since he gave up, DNA lie detector test and all that.
Right. But also, don't you think you would talk to your brother before you just went and told some police that?
Well, people with schizophrenia don't really logically think things through.
Good point. Good point. That's a very good point.
But
as you know, we have our dreamer.
Just been in one of those whirlwind phases where you didn't even realize that you went and reported your brother to the police for the third time.
Whoopsies.
Sometimes just wake up the next day and be like, "Oh shit, yeah, I did that. Oh, okay,
my bad, homie."
I think people were trying to say that within the Tyler case too is that like there's certain mental breaks where people go off and they do certain things and then they come out of it and they're like, oh, what am I doing over here in cross state? So
that's true. That does happen apparently. But I just thought, like, Nick, I'm sorry if you watch this and we're laughing about your sister telling the police. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened to you.
I'm sorry you had an traumatic. That's traumatic. Multiple times.
We're not laughing at you. We're laughing with you because I'm sorry. That was like totally unhinged.
And like, tips of value from people with schizophrenia. What is this shit? What is it?
I guess they're taking any and all tips, friends.
But we're the internet sleuths and conspiracy.
Literally, we're the terrible ones, I don't know. I think that's all I really had. Like a value stuff because like there is not a lot out there. There's not a lot. Like
I need to keep digging. I feel like I got a good start. But you know what my favorite find of the day was?
What's your favorite find of the day?
That Tony is a proud Freemason. He is in the Bro Code Club.
Yes. If you guys don't know anything about the Bro Code Club, go watch our videos on Tyler. Go back to our videos on Tyler because
you know what? And I feel like with the limited information or tips or anything surrounding Tyler's case, and then you turn around and you have Alicia's case, and look, there's hardly any information, and they're both connected to the Bro Code Club. And isn't that how they operate?
How ironic. How ironic. We all know how we feel about the Freemasonries. They a little cray cray.
Yeah. Shout out Tony for being in the Bro Code Club. If anybody wants to come help me understand how this thing operates so I can shut the fuck up, I would appreciate it.
We would really appreciate someone to come tell us about the Freemasonry so we could shut up about it. It's really been on our mind a lot lately.
They're sworn to secrecy, and there's all these cases that there's just nothing. South Dakota is not an Atlanta. It's not a Texas. It's not a Las Vegas or a Los Angeles. It's literally anybody from South Dakota is going to know that the whole town and the whole city talks. But all of a sudden you have these cases and there's nothing.
Okay, there's a lot of cases though. Like, I think our third party has like 30 on his roster. And that's
do they all happen to be like silenced, or there's like limited and anything about it? Like, do they all have similarities?
I don't know. I don't know all of them. I just know like a handful of them, and most of the ones that I know about definitely have very limited information. So yes, they all kind of follow that suit. However, just so everyone is aware, our third party will not be digging into Tyler because he thinks it's weird. And I can't agree with him more.
I want to go back before it, because you know that bro code really sealed the deal for me. That's gonna just, I'm gonna go off
Yeah.
for a little bit. I do question, because their divorce was not finalized. Was
Okay,
there
third party
or a prenup, or what was to be gained and lost from this divorce?
So the third party told me, our anonymous third party, shout out to him, told me that the divorce was supposed to happen like a few days after her death. So there was really no alimony or anything that would have been in place yet. However, she was entitled to parts of the moving company, the house moving company. Because
and that's a family company, right?
From what I understand, yeah. And I'm sure his dad and whoever else was involved. I know his dad for sure was involved, but whoever else, like, they don't want to give that up to some lady. Like, I'm sure that had a lot to do
especially if they were only married for 3 years. Being married for 3 years and you're getting half the business.
Yeah, let's be for real. That's a lot of money, because I know, like, we moved Nana's house after she passed away, and it was a pretty little penny, and we literally moved it across the street. Like, yeah. So I don't
she
know.
was, let's call it what it is, she was murdered a couple of days before her divorce was finalized.
And let me tell you
bro
all
was
something.
a part of the Bro Code Club,
right?
And he was, okay.
Oh, I was going to say his alibi was he was in Pierre when this happened. Which Adriana, where's Pierre? What's Pierre?
Isn't it like the Bro Code capital of the state? Like that's like where the big meetings happen.
Wow.
I don't know if it's Pierre or what's the other one? Rapid City. I gotta go back in my rabbit holes, but it's
well, Pierre is still the capital. Still. So there's obviously stuff going on there. We all know our government's not right. But yeah, how crazy. He was cleared for an alibi of being in Pierre. Also, though, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this because the third party told me to do with it what I will. Well, basically, it was like, don't really say this, but
do it with what you will with it. It means it's free game.
Yeah, she definitely. I'm not going to give all the details because it's kind of disgusting, but she definitely did find the mistress. Oh, who saw that one come in? There was definitely a mistress involved. And get this, he's married to the mistress today. Right now, he's married to her.
How long when did she catch them in timelines from catching them to her death?
So third party didn't know exact dates. However, he suggested it was probably like a couple months.
A couple months?
Yeah. I'm assuming when they started separating is probably when that was, you know what I mean?
That's a hell of a timeline. Yeah.
Yeah, the timeline keeps getting murkier, doesn't it?
Business. Yeah. What a timeline.
Crazy. He has kids now with the new wife, which is also the mistress wife. That's
what wait, did I read that the mistress is also a preschool teacher?
Yes.
Something?
Yeah, she's like I think she's a second grade teacher, but still. Okay, girl. Oh, is you Alicia? One of their kids, one of their sons, looks just like Alicia. Like, it's really weird. He looks like he could be Alicia's child. I hope you guys have to look at that and remind yourselves of her every day. Let me stop. May she rest in peace. Also, everyone was freaking outraged when he married his mistress a year after, like a little less than a year. Yeah, I think third party said it was like around a year.
365 days? You're not even finished grieving, bro.
Literally. Like, what are you doing?
So, she was murdered. He gets married a year later and moves across the country.
Yeah, he moved to like Wyoming, right? Montana, Wyoming.
That shit sounds like my wife died and I started a new life real quick.
Offed my wife.
I know people are gonna be like, you can't judge if you're not in their shoes. Well, no, that's weird.
Like
That's weird.
365 years. 365 days.
So you mean you had time to grieve and fall in love, bro?
And bro, that's crazy. Because I feel like Alicia's friends are still grieving that lady. It's been 10 years. That's a whole lot. That's like 3,000.
Oh wait, hold on, moment. You were already falling in love because you were having an affair. Okay.
He was already in love, girl. I just find that very strange. We shouldn't even be surprised at this point. How many murder shows do you watch where the husband...
watch TV. I know that's the funniest part is that everybody's like, "Oh, y'all watch too many crime shows." I don't even watch TV.
I don't really watch them. I like to listen to them though. I'll listen to podcasts and stuff. I don't really watch them. But no, Adriana really doesn't watch like any TV, so she's just naturally a PI in her life with her new soul tribe. Anyways, anything else? Any other comments? Did we miss anything pertinent?
I'm trying to go. Oh, the game. I wanted to know about the game Fish and Floyd because it was what I read is that they regularly pass through that area. So what is the regular, like every 2 hours, 3 hours? Like I wanted to know his schedule for...
Oh, I didn't think about that. You know what? I was there for like maybe an hour and I didn't see any of them. I didn't see anyone besides the people that were fishing next to me.
Yeah, because I wanted to know, like, what was the time? What is the regular, go through whatever. But from the time she got there to the time that they discovered her, I wanted to know that timeline.
Oh, you know what? Bethany might be able to tell us that. We're gonna have to probably...
Bethany, come through, please.
Bethany, come talk to us, baby. Come on. Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. That's really crazy. I did just get a message from third party, and he said, it's undeclared about the sexual... I know you and I were talking about sexual assault before this. It's undeclared about sexual assault, but it's believed to not have happened. So hopefully that's the case.
That's weird to me because what I read was that any sexual assault information was being withheld, and then for them to say that, but usually it's just so simple to be like there was no sexual assault, indications. Like, why leave?
Yeah,
why leave that door open for extra conspiracy theorists like myself, versus just saying no, she didn't have any signs of sexual assault.
The thing is like how
conspiracy theorists are going to be like, yeah, she might have had some, because why wouldn't you say no?
Well, that, and like because of how personally heinous that crime was, like it seems like that would be a thing. You know what I mean? It seems like
in one of the articles that I read, it was something about the autopsy not shared with, and I believe this is with the detective or the grandma, I'm not sure, because I have Hal written down as the replier, but it says the autopsy was not shared with family because it contains information that only the killer would know. And then Hal said that they had a lot of evidence. So if you could, I just don't understand why they would just be like, no, there was no sexual trauma.
Yeah, why would you not just say no? Or no indications, because that would cover your ass in case it did happen. Oh, also what I want to say is, per the third party, no one actually identified her body. So, like, if her grandma or her mom or even her husband, Tony, didn't identify her body, who the hell's buried in the grave?
Yeah, that one's she had to have been identified by somebody. She had to have. Especially if there's people within the family that know certain things that can't be shared as far as like evidence or in the article that I was reading about this interview, it says that they do know what she was hit with, but it can't be released or shared, which I understand why it could not be shared. But that, like, how could you know what she was hit with, but you didn't identify the body? You're not going to tell me what my daughter got hit with and not let me see her to identify.
No,
that doesn't make any sense to me. So I think somebody had to have identified her if there was people within her family that knew certain things.
Unless they just happen to see the autopsy because they're complaining or something, which as I said,
you mean like they just seen the autopsy report but not the body?
Right.
No, the whole building.
I don't know. How can you be like, oh, we found your missing person. She's dead, but you can't see her. Like, doesn't that seem weird?
Somebody has to, in order to be like, what is it, declared, there has to be identification.
I mean,
not declared. That's not what I'm trying to say.
No,
like
what you're saying, like picked up,
they're claiming that, or I don't know what the word is. Obviously, I'm still learning about crimes, but
literally. But that's the thing. Like, you and I already know of 2 other cases that did not happen because Tawny, they didn't get to see her body.
Yes, I'm gonna have to dig in this rabbit hole about what the South Dakota's law is on autopsy and identifications. If this is a reoccurring theme, so off the top, on our 3rd podcast, we can name 4 to 5 people that their bodies weren't identified, but they were murdered.
Yeah, or missing.
Red flag on the play.
Immediately a red flag. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like, how could you be like, oh, this is your dead loved one, but oh, you can't see him. You can't see who it really is.
There's no way. There's no way.
I mean, you and I wouldn't allow it because we know.
Nope. That body is not leaving until I identify it. I'm not burying them. They're not being cremated. Nothing until I can
keep them in the refrigerator.
That person.
Yeah, I know, right? Like,
so the only time that they seen her was in her casket.
Now, see, I don't know. I didn't ask any questions about the funeral. So,
Beth, is that her name?
Bethany, yeah, Bethany.
Bethany,
let us know, girl. But I do know she's buried in the. Well, if you watch the news article from her 10-year death anniversary, if that's a thing, it seems like she must be buried in the ground. So maybe because her throat was slit and she was bludgeoned or whatever they call that, blunt force trauma. Maybe they had to have a closed casket.
In some of the articles I was reading, they said that they could tell that she put up a fight because they could see that her finger was broken and that she had bruising on her hands or something along those lines. So somebody seen something to be able to say that they knew she put up a fight against whoever. And if that is the case too, that they're saying that she put up a fight, it makes me wonder, like, how was there nobody heard anything? Which I understand, like, if somebody came up behind her and then they started, immediately they got to the throat, but there had to have been, like, kicking or screaming, not screaming, kicking or splashing or some splashing. She was in the water of some sort.
Yeah, I don't know. How did even boaters, like, I saw a few boaters just the short time I was out there.
That goes back to how nobody that was present on that day came forward, which it was June. It was summertime. I can guarantee that there was folks out there. Like, I'm not even.
It was. Yeah, because it would have been warm June 1st. Like, even the water is getting warmer around that time. So, I don't know.
So nobody was even like, yeah, I went fishing that day.
Nobody. Apparently, nobody. You asked
That's
Detective
not
Howe.
weird. That's not weird. That smell. That smells.
I'm
That
sorry, but if
sounds like a small talk town meeting.
yeah, literally, fucking seance, if you will. I don't know. Like, why would you, if I happened to be on my boat that day, even if I didn't see anything or anything, I would have been like, yeah, I drove by there around 3:30 and she wasn't there. You know what I mean?
You can't tell me that itty bitty little town is so full of people that do nothing but mind their business. I'm not buying that bullshit at all. You mean to tell me that little place, all of a sudden, everybody wants to mind their business? No. Nope.
I live in a town of 10,000 people and nobody minds their business here.
Yep. No, I'm not going for it.
But I don't know. If you guys have anything, if you guys know anything, if you guys know anybody that knows anything, even if you want to come into our inbox and tell us anonymously, let us know. I feel like at this point we're 10 years out. Like, I feel like we should wrap it up. Let's wrap it up.
I'm gonna keep digging in my rabbit holes. This was just day one of me starting on it, so I'm excited for part 2 of this. I feel like
I literally sprung this on her and was like, "Hey,
I got just finished eating and put on. I got just like, oh, here we go. We're in here."
So, I don't know. If you guys know anything about this precious woman,
or if there's anything that you think that we should look into, or
yeah,
you
have a rabbit hole for us.
I mean, I just started this today. So if you have a direction or things that you think haven't been looked into more that could be, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna take it there. So just throw that recommendation out there.
And Tony Hummel, I don't think you're that innocent. No. I ain't buying your bro code shit.
Proud bro code.
God, that thing is, I just can't even stand it. Anyways, that's all we got for tonight, friends.
And if any of her family wants to reach out and share things that it may be, or even just give me links, websites, resources to look into further, please. Thank you.
Or if you want to correct us, hey, we might have said something wrong. We just going off what we found. If we got some information wrong, let us know. Because our whole goal, I'm obviously not going to be able to go out there and find her killer because I don't know who. I don't even remember what I was doing yesterday, let alone 10 years ago. Just hop in our box. Let us know if we got something wrong. Anything. Even if you just want to be like, hey, thanks. Hop in our inbox. We will be doing another episode on Alicia when we get a little bit more information, but because, it was 10 years on, what was that, Monday?
Mm-hmm.
No. What day? Let me look at it. 10 years on the 1st, which...
it was Monday or Sunday, I believe.
Yeah, Sunday or Monday. It was the 1st. Was her 10 years. I really just wanted to get her story out there. Our main focus right now is getting the truth out there, getting the information out there, letting this woman's name be alive still, because her killer's still out there walking. Who knows who's his next victim? Or her, I guess it could be a girl, but I doubt it. I don't think a girl's attacking another girl like that.
I'm going back through my notes. How did Tony look after Alicia's family after her loss? Did he just cut off all ties, disappear? Was no help? That's another question I had. We need to know Alicia's family taken care of after her death? And I'm not talking financially, mentally, emotionally, physically, all of that.
Right. Yeah, just let us know. Give us a little insight. I'm gonna try to shake down Detective Howe, see what we can find. Again, I don't really know if he's detectiving anymore, but shake him down a little bit. for entertainment purposes only. Okay, people. Anyways, that's all we have for tonight. If you have anything, again, hop in our inbox. Even if you want to stay anonymous, we will always keep our information anonymous. We will never say your name unless you're like, hey, say my name. Yeah, make sure you tune in on Wednesday nights for Unhinged and Saturday mornings for the barbecue. And we're out. We'll see y'all. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Searching hard for a parking problem.